when I had seen Carmelo in Los Angeles, he said he was going to have a decision on Thursday, and he told me that he was definitely torn. And I think, Chicago got back in it from this standpoint. They were really, putting the full court press on Carmelo. And I think for Carmelo, it really is, he wants to win. And when he looks at Chicago, you have Carmelo there with Derrick Rose, with Noah, Taj Gibson. That is that's a very good team. And I think, I think Carmelo was torn from the standpoint, if I join that team, right away I'm joining a championship contender, or do I try to build it in New York, where maybe it's going to take me 2 or 3 years? And I think what obviously softens the blow for him is that he's getting a lot more money from the Knicks. And, he likes New York, he likes living there, he likes playing there, his family likes it there, and they can give you the most money. So I think when you factor all that stuff in, I think that's why he was somewhat torn. I think it's a lot quicker route to a championship through Chicago. But at a time when we criticize all these guys for running and leaving, here's a guy that's going to stay. And I know people are going to say, well, he's getting the most money. Absolutely, that factors into it. But he's going to stay in New York and try to win a title here. You're still getting a good player, but I think it's very interesting where Phil, if you look at his attitude all throughout this, it was kind of basically his attitude, if he comes back, great. If not, that's okay, we'll move on. Yet it was Phil that flew out to L.A. last Thursday, offered the max deal, and I think the Knicks were expecting Carmelo to faint and say, oh, absolutely, I'll sign it. And Carmelo absolutely made Phil Jackson sweat a little bit. And it's a lot different when you're a head coach and you can kind of play mind games with your players in the media. But when you're the president and you do that, it's a dicey, situation. He tried to play a game of chicken, in my opinion, with Carmelo. And I really think that Phil's the one that blinked first because Carmelo took his time. Carmelo was not playing a game here. I know that for a fact because I was with him out here, and I could see it. And I've gotten to know him pretty well over the past few years, and I could definitely tell it was something he was wrestling with. So it wasn't like he was just sitting there wanting to see, Phil Jackson sweat a little bit. But in the end, I think that's what happened. Phil did sweat a little bit.